Hey, crypto family. So, unfortunately, it's another down day for Bitcoin. This time it's down nearly 10% to $7,718. I'm actually going to go over one of the big reasons why it's down. But first, let's cover some of the altcoins. So, you can see most of the altcoins are performing negatively as well. Bitcoin SV is still one of the only coins in the green today, up 1.1% to $223. So, again, a lot of manipulation with that coin and very low liquidity tends to be the reason why it's staying above water. But going over some Bitcoin analysis here, I actually want to cover one of the reasons why I think Bitcoin is falling so much. This first article here, it says Bitcoin plunged below 8,000. Did this cause the sudden what caused the sudden price drop? So it says the Bitcoin price down around 8% over the last 24 hours is still up around double from where it began after a terrible 2018. And that's still, you got to remember that from the beginning of the year, it's still double from where it was. It says, it's been suggested the latest Bitcoin sell-off, which sent the wider cryptocurrency market sharply lower, was caused by a so-called Bitcoin whale selling a large amount of Bitcoin, then buying it back after the market has dropped due to the influx of supply, potentially earning millions of dollars in the process. So I know what you're thinking. People always blame whale manipulation anytime there's a negative downturn, and a lot of times that's not the case. But I think they make a good argument why this could be the case. It says, last night, a large Bitcoin holder moved some 25,000 Bitcoin worth more than 200 million from an off-exchange wallet to the San Francisco-based Coinbase Bitcoin and cryptocurrency exchange. And this is shortly after, 14,000 Bitcoin worth 112 million was moved from Coinbase to another wallet, then a further 11,000 worth 88 million. So you can see here, so the time that they moved it, I'll go to the tweet here, is on Whale Alert. If you're not following Whale_alert, definitely follow them. They basically tweet anytime huge transactions happen. So you can see here, 5:39 p.m. all this Bitcoin is transferred to Coinbase. And then I'll go here, and this is a 5-minute chart on TradingView, and you can see June 3rd, 5:39 p.m. is right about right here. Okay, so the Bitcoin price was about $8,450. Now, 20 minutes later, that's exactly when the downturn happened. And you can't tell me, that's not just a coincidence. I think there's a lot more to that. I think that was one of the reasons why we had this sell-off. And again, if you look further into this article, it also says, quote, if you do a little math and follow the timeline, it's not hard to see that someone dumped 25,000 Bitcoin for 215 million and bought it back shortly after for 200 million, wrote Reddit user Machiavelli in a post popular cryptocurrency forum Cryptocurrency. Quote, in doing so, they pocketed 15 million and walked away with the same amount of Bitcoin as they started with. So again, this is one of those things where you have to look between the lines and exactly, what's going on, because there's still very, very much a lot of manipulation going on in cryptocurrencies. And this is just one example of that. When there's not much action going on, it's easy for a whale to just sell all their Bitcoin and then try to buy back lower prices, and they could still have the same amount of Bitcoin. So again, that's just something to keep in mind. And there is still manipulation going on. So a lot of times there's a cascade effect because there still are not a lot of people in cryptocurrency, so it's easy for whales to manipulate it. But going over some actual analysis here, I'll go on the daily chart. And I want to cover exactly some of the resistance and support levels I was talking about. So looking at today, I mentioned Bitcoin breaks, if it cannot hold this 8,400 support level, then it would likely fall down to this $7,400 support level. And this is the next major support. And we have done just that. It went to a low of 75.59. And again, it could still possibly go lower. And hopefully, once it reaches this support, bounce back up and hold it and then break back above this 8,400 resistance. Now, want to keep in mind, looking at this 50-day moving average here, you can see that Bitcoin actually, since it's started having its rise at the end of February, it's actually stayed above this 50-day moving average. So this is another big support level we have to look out for. Right now it's at 6,800, so we could possibly see it fall to that level. But again, looking for it to hold this 73 to 7,400 level and then continue higher. Now, looking at the RSI, it's crazy to think, but we're actually just balanced out on the RSI. So we're not overbought or oversold. So even though we had this big drop, the RSI was way overbought before. That's why we're just leveled out now, which means it could possibly still have some downside. Now, looking at the longs versus shorts, very interesting thing to look at here. The longs have actually fell below the shorts. So shorts are starting to rise a little bit. Longs are being liquidated. And again, if you look back here on the date of, go ahead and bring it back, you can see on April 23rd, that's exactly when the shorts overtook the longs again. And you can see Bitcoin had a fall for a couple days, consolidated, and then had a rise up. And that's when you see shorts reaching their all-time highs a lot of times that makes it a lot easier for a short squeeze to happen. If you have a few big buyers, they can liquidate the shorts very easily, force them to buy back, and then have this meteoric rise that we had. So again, that same thing could happen here. It may take at least a week or two, but again, we'll have to see what happens. So don't panic if you see Bitcoin falling, because eventually those shorts will have another short squeeze and we'll have another rise. So it's just a matter of when and not if. Now, first article I want to talk about today is by CoinDesk, and it says the SEC is suing Kick for its 2017 ICO. Now, this is some pretty big news. It says the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is suing Kick for allegedly running an unregistered security sale when it launched an initial coin offering for its KIN token in 2017. It says in filing submitted Tuesday, they said Kick violated Section 5 of the Security Act, which requires offerings to be registered. So Kick was not registered. They had their ICO illegally, and you can see today actually the price is down over 32%. Just on the 7-day chart, you can see how much of a drop it had. Now, further it says, quote, by selling 100 million securities without registering the offers or sales, we allege that Kick deprived investors of information to which they were legally entitled and prevented investors from making informed investment decisions, said Stephen Pelkin, co-director of the SEC Division of Enforcement. Now, this is something that I want to keep you all in mind. So the SEC really has been cracking down on a lot of things over the past couple of years, especially ICOs. Those have been the big hot topic. A lot of countries have actually banned ICOs. So right now they're actually trying to go after all these ICOs that were, that weren't registered. They're operating illegally. And again, that's just something to keep in mind when you are investing in future ICOs. You want to make sure those companies are registering and they're following the proper KYC procedures and laws and regulations, because if they aren't, again, this could very well happen. Kick went on for 2 years without any of this news, and then the SEC came after them, and you can see how much they dropped. They're basically worthless now. So again, that just begs the question, always do your research and always make sure that you are looking at the companies and the founders and basically everyone behind the company to make sure that they are following all the rules and regulations. So because eventually the SEC will find them. So with that, if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, please subscribe if you haven't. Really appreciate all my subscribers and watchers. Until next time, thanks for watching.